Right, a couple of people have asked us to do a video to show some of the easiest ways to string an acoustic guitar. So that's what we're going to do today. Got a Martin DC1E here that we're going to be restringing. Some people find the biggest problem if they've not strung acoustic guitars before is these things here, the bridge pins. And they obviously go into the bridge here. And the main problem that people find is when they start trying to tune the guitar up, the bridge pin pops out. So that's what we're going to try and explain, the process of how to string an acoustic guitar so that doesn't happen. You've got two ends of the string. Basically you've got the sharp end and the ball ends. The ball end goes into the bridge, and at this stage you can just put the string sort of quite far in, and then you take your bridge pin and pop the bridge pin in to the hole. Don't push it down, you just want it there loose. And what we've got to try and do now is try and fish the ball end so that the pin doesn't actually come up. You can see at the moment, if I'm putting that string up, what wants to happen is the ball end wants to pull the bridge pin back out. So we need to fish, and the way you do that is by holding onto the bridge pin with one finger slightly above where it would normally be, and then pull the string quite, not violently, but quite positively to get the ball end to actually fall to the side of the pin. So now you can see the pin's in there and it's still sticking up, but it definitely doesn't want to come out. And that's basically the key to it. It's quite simple. Once you've got that concept down, then it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so we've got the bridge pin in the other end, the string's anchored in okay. You still always have to be careful when you're tuning up that the ball end doesn't try and force the pin out, but this end, all we do is you put the string through the hole on the tuner on this type of post, take about a tuner's worth, maybe a little bit less, back again to the tuner, so you've got some slack, string comes round, just make a bend in it, underneath, and the string looks like that. Then if you hold the tension on the string, the ball end should stay where it's supposed to, and down this end all we do is just wind it up. As soon as the string starts to bend around the post, a bit like on an electric guitar, same idea at this end, just pull that string round so it locks off, and then just tighten the string around the post, make sure it goes down the post. And there we go, that's the first one. And the other end, if you take a look at the other end of the guitar where the bridge pin is, the bridge pin has stayed in fact, because we made sure that the ball end had actually slipped to the side, so it's not coming out, it's not going anywhere. And that's basically all there is to it. Alright, so you can see inside the guitar now. I'm just going to put the second string in, and you're going to see obviously the ball end of the string inside the guitar. Hopefully you'll be able to see what's going on. So I'm going to feed the A string through, and you can see the ball end there, and basically the bridge pin's now coming through, as you can see, and the ball end is there. If I was to just let that go, normally it could pull out the bridge pin, but if you can try and see this, I pushed the bridge pin in. I'm just going to fish the ball end down the side of the bridge pin. There you go, you can see it's actually gone up against the bridge plate. So now that's locked in place adequately, so it's not sitting, the ball end doesn't sit on the end of the bridge pin, it's actually pushed to the side, and all the bridge pin does is essentially blocks the hole for the escape of the ball end through the actual bridge. So we've got all of our bridge pins in nicely, the ball ends have been fished to the side, so they're all nice and they're sitting there, not coming out, which is good. So all I'm going to do now is just finish off the stringing. If you have problems removing your bridge pins, there's a few things you can try, but the best thing I would recommend to start with is to get a bridge pin puller, which on this winder there's actually a bridge pin puller on the end of this, which will fit into the bridge pin and pull it out, makes it easier. You can also get this style, which is a Dunlop style. This one's a Planet Waves one. That's basic tuning. I haven't actually tuned it up completely. The last thing to do is just to make sure that all the strings are nicely sat on the saddle, all the pins are nicely down. At this end you've obviously got all your slack here. You can snip all of those off with some snips. And obviously last thing is always to stretch the strings in after you've tuned a guitar up with new strings. It's always a good idea to give them a good stretch in. Be careful not to break them, obviously. And then with a tuner or something similar, and then give them another pull in just so the guitar settles down. And that's it. That's basically all there is to restringing an acoustic guitar.